PSG could be in massive trouble, guys. It is not looking good. Mbappe refusing to leave, even though he's probably going to leave next season for free to Real Madrid, and PSG won't be able to make any money from that deal. And now Neymar wants to leave as well. Oof. It is going to be a very interesting few weeks. Talking of Mbappe, who isn't really featured in this video, but just remember, okay, he's probably the most valuable asset in football right now, one of the most valuable young players in the game, and he's refusing to leave. He's going to wait until he leaves for free next summer, costing PSG upwards of 150, 200 million. I mean, it's a big one. PSG are probably absolutely pooping their pants. And then Neymar, their next biggest asset, I would argue. Now that Messi's left, Neymar is the next big name, I guess. Maybe not worth as much as they would like anymore, but he wants to go. Where he's going to go, I have no idea. I've read multiple reports that he's interested in joining Messi at Inter Miami. There is also reports, of course, that he could end up going to the Saudi League. Who knows? Barcelona? It is one to look out for. I think PSG would be okay without Neymar, though. He's a very injury-prone player. He causes a lot of issues off the pitch, and I would imagine they would reinvest and get probably an equally good player at this point, or someone that can be equally as good soon. I don't think he's actually taken PSG to the next level. I don't think he has played better at PSG than he played at Barcelona, for example. He hasn't taken that next step, which maybe we kind of expected in an easier league. But Neymar is potentially never going to play for PSG again. Up next, we've got almost a confirmed deal. This looks like it's going to be done in the next few days. If you don't recognise this player, this is Heber, left-footed young French player, has a massive potential. He's done very well at Lyon. He's broken into their first team over recent seasons, and they've obviously needed to replace Gvardiol now that he has gone to Man City, and Heber is an absolute steal. I think it's reportedly around the 35 to 40 million euro mark, so not even an insane deal, considering they got almost 100 million euros for Gvardiol. And I would argue Heber isn't going to be that far off. I really like Gvardiol. I think he is one of the best young defenders in the world, for sure. But I don't think Heber is going to take too much time to adapt to RB Leipzig, to adapt to the Bundesliga, and become just as good. Maybe not on the same level straight away, but what I'm trying to say is they've reinvested this money, half the money, less than half the money, on a very good player. And I'm surprised more teams weren't in for Heber. I thought he would get a big move. I thought actually maybe an AC Milan, maybe a Bayern, I don't know. But RB Leipzig are very good at buying young players, making them into even better young players and selling them for a huge profit. So this should be going through very soon. Up next, this is a hijacking. We've got Max Aarons, who just a few seasons ago, when he was playing in the Premier League with Norwich, everyone was saying he's the next big thing. He's the next right back for England. It's a very stacked position. Let's all face it. England have a lot of right backs they can choose from, and I think Max Aarons was always going to struggle to break into that. And actually, it's gone a bit quiet. I haven't heard too much about Max Aarons. Well, reportedly, he was going to Leeds. They had accepted a deal, Norwich, I mean, and he was talking to Leeds on personal terms, and it was pretty close. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, Bournemouth have put in a slightly higher bid, which, of course, Leeds have accepted. They know that they're losing one of their best young players. He's going to go. And Bournemouth have offered a better deal, and they've hijacked it with hours left, potentially. I'm hearing that Max Aarons was very close to getting that deal done, and he would have been a Leeds player. But instead, he's going to be a Premier League player again. And I like Leeds, but I think Bournemouth are maybe a better choice for his career. I think he could make that position his own for a long time to come. Leeds still have Drame, right? Unless they're loaning him out or selling him. I don't know. It's a good move. And fair play to Bournemouth. They're making some very good signings. Up next, we are talking Xiao Felix. This one makes me really sad. Do you remember it was January, wasn't it? He was talking to potentially Arsenal. He ended up going to Chelsea. It was a very expensive loan deal. And I guess you could make an argument that it didn't quite go as well as maybe people expected. I think Xiao Felix was expected to do a lot more, but Chelsea just really struggled last season, and he picked up injuries, suspensions, and yeah, it didn't go particularly well. But he's still one of the best young players in the world, for sure. He's worth easily over 100 million. I'm sure clubs would probably pay that kind of money for him, even though he went for, 140 million? I don't know, a lot of money. Well, he could be going to the Saudi League. He would be the huge, big, high-profile signing going to the Saudi League this summer. It stinks, but I totally understand it. They're probably willing to pay $1 million a week, something stupid like that, to have him. And I really don't blame him for potentially moving. It's just such a shame, because I get it if you're 27, 28, 29, you're coming to the end of your career, in your 30s maybe. But he's still got so much. He is still so good. And this is gutting. I don't know if it's actually going to happen. He's been teasing a move to Barcelona, hasn't he? And I just don't think they're going to be able to afford it. Atletico Madrid will want at least 100 million. Of course they will. So we'll see what happens here. Up next, it's a big one, guys. Harry Kane to Bayern. The breaking news right now, as I'm making this video, is that Bayern have struck a deal with Spurs. It is around the 100 million mark, but it is now up to Harry Kane. He can choose to stay and inevitably make more money. I think at Spurs, they've offered him, I've heard, 400 grand a week. Insane. Or he can go to Bayern on still, I'm sure, very high wages and guarantee a successful end to his career. What are you doing, Harry? I love Harry Kane because he's such a good player. I hate the fact that he's a Tottenham player. It sucks. And I want him to go because I want Tottenham to struggle, obviously. Without him, God, they finished 7th, 8th last season? And that's with him bagging 30 goals? They would be lost without him, and it would be hilarious. But also, he's not going to get remembered. Everyone will say, "Oh yeah, Harry Kane, he was a really good striker. He scored so many goals, but he didn't win anything. He didn't have anything at the end of his career to show for it." Go to Bayern. If he goes there for 3, 4, 5 seasons, which he'll easily get 3 more seasons at the very top level, he will win them potentially Champions League, definitely the league, the DFB Pokal. He will win trophies, major honours. If he doesn't go, I question him. I really do. Moving on to the next one, it is Raya to Arsenal. Now, this is one I really want to talk about. It's a done deal. I've heard that it's basically a done deal, and it'll be public later today or tomorrow. This is a really interesting move from Arsenal and Edu. Edu has smashed it this transfer window. Obviously, I'm an Arsenal fan, so I know a lot more about this move in particular, but Raya has been potentially moving for a few months now. And we saw Tottenham, Bayern really wanting him. 40 million was the magic number. No one was biting. As the transfer window has progressed and he's received more and more offers, I'm sure. Brentford have received higher offers as well. Nothing quite tickled their fancy. Arsenal come in offering 30 million, including add-ons. And Raya has told Brentford, accept it. I only want Arsenal. It's done. Let me go to Arsenal, effectively. So, doesn't want Bayern, even though he would be their number one. Didn't want Tottenham, even though he'd be their number one. He'd rather come to Arsenal and fight for that number one spot with arguably one of the better young goalkeepers in the league, with Ramsdale being our solid number one choice at the moment. This is huge. The pull is unrivaled at this Arsenal Football Club. It's huge. And the interesting thing as well is we can't really do the deal right now because of FFP. We need to sell some players. And we're close. We're close to selling players. But do you know what Edu's done? Because he's a genius. He's turned it into a loan with an option to buy. We're paying 3 million for the loan, for the season-long loan. He's potentially going to sign a new deal at Brentford so they can protect their asset. And then if we decide to keep him and pay the rest of the 27 million, he's ours. And if we feel like it hasn't worked out, maybe he's not what we're looking for, whatever, he goes back to Brentford and they keep their asset with its value and we don't have to pay up until next season. It's huge. It's for FFP reasons, and it means we can get the deal done now. He'll be ready to go for the weekend should he be in the first team. I don't know. but get him integrated with the squad, and it means we've now got time to sell players and not panic, and of course buy a right winger. That's what we all want. On to some confirmed deals now. Sander Berge, I think that's how you say it. Berge. What a signing. I talked about this rumour, and it is now complete. He is a Burnley player. Vincent Kompany has got his man, and my God, he's a baller. He is. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people might say, oh, he's played in the Championship. He's only played with Sheffield United. There's a reason Liverpool wanted him a couple of seasons ago. There's a reason he was linked with top European clubs. I remember Arsenal were looking at him. Arsenal look at everyone. But now he's a Burnley player, and he's going to kill it. He's going to absolutely kill it. He's a technical player, but 6'5" or something. He's just dream midfielder, and for that price, I think it's like £13.8 million. It's nothing. And then also joining a claret and blue club, we have Edson Alvarez joining West Ham. He replaces Declan Rice. It's a good signing for West Ham. It's close to 40 million. It's a lot of money. But they can afford it. I wonder why. Best of luck to him. I actually think, there were links with Dortmund, Chelsea, Bayern. He's ended up at West Ham, and fair play to him. He's got a chance to really have the team built around him almost. He's an aggressive midfielder. I'd argue he will probably offer similar defensive qualities, if not more, than Declan Rice will. He's not much of a carrier with the ball. I don't think I've seen him do that much, but honestly, as a defensive midfielder, he's elite. He's going to be a very good signing for them. But as usual, guys, thank you so much for watching these transfer roundup videos. I absolutely love making these. It's great fun talking transfers, and I hope you enjoy them. If you do, make sure you subscribe, because, of course, I'm going to continue them throughout the rest of the window. Coming up soon, some FIFA content. I'm looking to do some FIFA challenge type stuff, and just some one-off things. I'm just enjoying posting whatever I feel like at the moment. And of course, we're edging closer to FC24. I will see you next time.